I made a lot more progress on the free-to-play account today in the Grim Forest, and I want to share that with you guys. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and I am very excited about today's video because it is going to be about the Grim Forest again. Probably going to see a bit of Grim Forest content over the next couple of days. I have been having an absolute blast in here on the free-to-play. At first, I was very reluctant to play this on the free-to-play. I still did play it. I ended up doing a lot of normal on the free-to-play as well. But I was like, you know what? Normal's so easy. Maybe I need to go back and try hard, right? So I went back to hard and I started pushing and really meticulously planning. Now, I already did a whole video where I completed all of the mimics on this level, and I basically did that using heal reduction in either Skull-Lord Vargal or Venomage, right? Two really good champions. But heal reduction also got me through some other bosses today. So one of those bosses that I used heal reduction to defeat was this guy. Is it Tauraze? So he was a big challenge for my account because, again, I don't have block debuffs. Well, I do now, and we'll talk about that on my account, but I don't really have a great strategy to defeat this guy. It's quite challenging when you have a limited number of cleansers. And if you can see behind me, I didn't get my Mithrala to be able to cleanse off the debuffs, but gotta work with what you have. And you can see my redraw tokens are all used up. So kind of the approach that I had really revolved mainly around Newt. And I want to be clear to you guys about that. Like, not everyone has a Newt. Yakarl didn't really play a role here. It's a viable option, and he does get a few freezes off now and then, but Newt's consistency and the counterattack on Newt is really what stole the show here. So I just had to use the resources in my account. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril, as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. And again, we're gonna see a lot of Lamassu. Her aura is amazing, 24% in all battles. That's a huge aura that's really going to help me rotate my abilities on an account that is relatively slow compared to probably a lot of you guys. So we've got Newt, and then Godseeker's just in there. It's my best reviver on my account. My best built reviver on my account. Obviously, he'll be the new Shadowkin. Also, I have them as revivers. They're not built yet. They're not going to be built for a while. So Godseeker is the best option that I have. Now, Godseeker is built for a solo, well, not solo, but a duo build for Sand Devil. So Godseeker is really tanky, high HP, and actually kind of heals pretty well if you build her the right way. So either way, we'll jump in here, and I'm not going to do the whole fight because this was like a 15-minute fight. This is a slog of a fight. Like, it took forever. But really, the main thing I'm looking for is using Lamassu to keep up that block buffs to make sure that the counterattack doesn't land. And then I'm only A1ing with Vargal. Now, that could be any other champion. You can see there, Yakarl getting a freeze off, right? Both Yakarl and Newt being able to freeze on their A1s really make this kind of easy, but it takes a long time because you really just need to lock down the boss with your freeze, and you have to wait to outrun these annoying debuffs before you can place those damage dealing abilities. Now, one thing you can do with Lamassu, mine is in a feral set. Her resistance is not particularly high, but she does block that stuff at the beginning of the fight. And so then I can remove the debuff there from Newt in particular and use the hard-hitting damage abilities of Newt. Now, it may have been more beneficial there for me to actually use the freeze, if we're really being honest, right? Because he got a turn there. But you can see we also have Brimstone that is going to do a bunch of damage, keeping that heal reduction up. And I did manual this whole thing, and you'll see we did get resisted there, my Yakarl isn't perfect, right? He's not built incredibly well. He's built as like a third tier damage dealer that I really haven't used in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if he's missing a piece of gear even. But the main thing that I'm doing is keeping that heal reduction up, trying to freeze the boss whenever I can. We got resisted yet again, and Newt is just a great option to do that. Now, he immediately comes out of that freeze, and we just have to get our debuffs back engaged. Now, he still hits like a truck, and now everybody except for one champion on my team is locked out. And this is where it really starts to slow down. Now, it's very easy to keep that heal reduction because of Skull Vargal. It's really easy to freeze because of Newt. Keeping everyone alive starts to become a challenge now because I don't have any way of removing those debuffs, which just keep ticking. Now, they're ticking and not healing, but they still keep ticking because every time they tick, the boss would be getting healed, but we're printing that with a heal reduction. So Skull Vargal by far is the MVP of this fight. And you'd say, well, no, Newt's the MVP, but if I didn't have Vargal, I can't do this fight. It doesn't matter if I have Newt. It doesn't matter, you know, there's no way for me to outrun the healing that is involved with the HP burn mechanic. So just keeping that heal reduction up really, really deals with the boss. And then anytime I do get the shield bash to speed it up, I will. But with the HP getting low, be very, very careful if you're using this team, if you're using Lammasu, be very, very careful because you can put yourself into a bit of a bind with how you use this. Now, there's one really, really unique thing I love about this, and I'll see if we can get there. But with this ability, which resets the cooldown of everything on the champion, it makes sense to use that on Newt because you want Newt to be the, you know, doing a bunch of damage, right? However, if you start to get low on HP, as I'm starting to get, you run a bigger risk now of potentially dying, right? And if you die, then you're in some trouble. Now, Godseeker does a reasonable job of healing. It's not perfect. It's not a full heal. People are going to die. But one thing that I learned, which is very cool, and I don't think I'll be able to really show it to you guys, but if you're using the Godseeker and Lammasu combo, if you read the revive here, the revive for Godseeker, people forget that it resets the cooldowns of the champion you revive. So you could revive Lammasu. Lammasu can then reset the cooldowns on Godseeker, and Godseeker can then revive another person. That saved my butt and was able to get me through this fight when I had a few things go wrong, right? Resistance happens, 3% exists, and the boss does a ton of damage. I mean, you can see right there, we are quite low. I'll move myself a little bit here. We are very, very low here. And every tick of those burns is just going to get us lower and lower and lower. And that Godseeker heal, while good, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's a high cooldown for as small amount of healing as it is. And you can see we're just tick, going down and going down. And the moment that Vargal in particular goes down, we lose our heal reduction and basically lose our entire control of the fight. Now, one thing I have done, and I won't do it here, but I did, you know, like if I was to reduce the cooldown of Godseeker right now and heal my team up, that's the safe play, right? And I did that a few times in the other run. Here, I'll be a little bit more greedy just for the entertainment value, and we'll use it on Newt to get the big damage there. But we're very low HP, not a lot of heals, and there's one of the, now we're in some trouble because we have that counterattack up, which is really going to hurt. I'm trying to remember where the irresistible, if they have 75% or more. So I won't use that one. We'll go here with the A2. Yes, we get the freeze. That's the saving grace there. Then we get the heal. But if we would have got the counterattack there, people would have died. And I would have been in a little bit of trouble. But I'm just kind of grinding away. And this isn't, well, okay. I'll wrap this up. You can clearly see that this team will succeed. It's not going to be the fastest team. Oh, there you go. Like you can see, we're in a bad position now where we're probably going to die. And we had one person go down, and now 2 more probably, at least close to it. Keep that heal reduction up. Ooh. That's frustrating. So we're in a lot of trouble right now. because we're locked out on Godseeker, that revive trick that I was referring to, we can't really do. Now, the good part is when you get down to this few of people, even when that heal reduction falls off, we're actually kind of in a good spot because the boss will still heal, but they're only healing based off of 2 of our champions, which is kind of beneficial. So we can revive Lammasu. Lammasu can then turn meter and cleanse there. Then we can revive Vargal. And we have full cooldowns on pretty much everybody. We put the heal reduction up. We take some damage there. But now we're back in control of the fight. And we just continue the rotation. And again, because your Carl is expendable in this team, it kind of works out. Now, that's the unique thing about this, about Grim Forest, is there's no way to guarantee this 5-man squad. You really have to like puzzle solve and come up ways to beat a fight. And I find it so much fun to like play around with the roster limitations that they give me and find that sweet spot to come up with a victory. This was so much fun for me, albeit tedious and boring, but you know, it's not exactly the fastest way to beat it. But for my account and the limitations of my account, that's so much fun. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is I did level up and gear a new champion today. My silver's quite low but Great Hoof Loriaka, the reviews are still really bad. I don't agree with those reviews at all. Now, Loriaka does not have any books yet. She will be one of my next champions to book, but I added her to my team today. Now, I wasn't lucky enough to get her in that particular fight, but she is one of the few champions on my roster that places block debuffs, and that's on a 3-turn cooldown and gives 20% turn meter fill. That is a lot of turn meter fill, guys. What is Arbiter? 30%? Yeah. So not quite Arbiter, but again, Arbiter's a void. And here we are with a non-void giving 20% turn meter with a block debuffs. Well, and then on the A2, you place decrease resistance and decrease accuracy and fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each debuff. I'm not kidding, guys. When I tell you that this is a free ability, you can open with this and gain back like a large chunk of your turn meter and probably rotate into this ability to give your whole team turn meter. On top of that, each time an ally buff is removed, transferred, stolen, or expires, gaining turn meter. She is a turn meter machine, and keeping that block debuffs up is really convenient. Even at a 5-turn cooldown, which it currently is for me, I was able to keep that up pretty consistently around what the bosses can do, right? Obviously, I'm not keeping it up 100% of the time, but because of all the turn meter I'm giving my team and everything, I'm just able to cycle through and apply it when I needed it most in other fights. Now, I particularly leveled and built her for the one remaining boss that I have to do. That is Maximaz. Sounds like a transformer. There's really no way around it. I need block debuffs to beat this boss. So I'm just in a position where I had to build somebody and bring them. That is the easiest person to build on my account right now, and I'm very excited to use her against that boss. But that's the only boss that I have left. We beat this boss today as well. This one was pretty... What did I do this? Obviously, I used this team. Oh, yeah, I just blocked the continuous heals. Yeah, between Lammasu and Uugo, I just blocked the continuous heals. That was easy. And Wukong killed the allies in the fight. It is tedious. It took me quite a while. Oh, wait, sorry. There are no allies. I apologize. She does do something with allies, though, which is interesting. But yeah, if you just block debuffs and keep it up, she places 4 continuous heals. All of them are blocked. Not an issue. Easy. Pretty easy. A lot of people have Uugo because Ugo's great. So Ugo's a great option. Again, Lammasu has been my saving grace in here. No enemy max HP on that boss, so you're going to need to bring other forms of damage, but Wukong can hit like a truck, and I did Ultimate Death Knight because she hits like a truck. I needed Ultimate Death to keep me alive, and I just did a couple of re-rolls. You could also do heal reduction like I did a previous attempt with Skull Lord Vargal, but Skull Lord Vargal was when I re-rolled to get some more healing for my team, I lost Skull Lord Vargal. So you got to work with what you have, right? And this team worked really, really well for me. So yeah, I have done a majority of this. And one major tip that I would give, I don't know, let me save that. Let me know in the comments, do you guys want to see me do just like an overview video of Grim Forest, you know, just like a really detailed kind of game plan, if you will, like, hey, do this first, then do this, then do that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a video like that, and I'll save some of those tips for that video. But I'm loving Grim Forest. I want to talk more about Forest, so stay tuned. And, you know, if you guys aren't looking for that content, let me know in the comments ahead of time, right? I can always tell, you know, when I look at the view count and I'm like, oh, wow, that didn't get a lot of views. I won't make any more content on that. But if it's something that you're curious about how other people solved these problems, I'm happy to share them, and very excited to talk about it more. But, you know, if that's what you guys want. Either way, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. This is the best way to support my channel, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one. Take care.